Hi guys, welcome to Auto Top NL. My name is Huub and welcome to this ring review of the Clio RS220 Trophy by RSR. So this car is from RSR Nurburgring, as you can see there in the background. They're actually a rental company at the Nurburgring but also at Spa, so big thank you to these guys for handing me over this car. And as you can see, this is the Clio 4 RS. There's been quite a few reviews on the channel by Max of modified versions and well, normal ones, I would say. This car is stock, aside from the BBS wheels, as you can see, and this car also has brake pads and brake fluid, as RSR does with all of their entry-level cars. So we're gonna take this out today at the ring, see what it's capable of doing. Stats on this car: 220 horsepower, weighs a good 1200 kgs. This car. It sits on Pilot Sport 4, as you can see. The preference tire for very light track use and the street. What else there? Has this really cool dual striping livery on the car. Stock exhaust. Nothing really too special. Nothing really too special about it. So if you want to see a review of the stock version of this car, check the link here in the video or down below in the description. Yeah, nothing really special about it. Renault Sporters are really chassis magicians. So they have, of course, the Megane RS, which is very well known for its handling. I think also the Clio 3 and 4 RS, also even the 2, so the 1A2 you had. Incredible cars handling wise. I actually owned a previous generation Clio myself, a 197. You can also check that video here of that specific car. I have a soft spot for Clios in general. I really wonder how it's gonna do in stock form. I'm more used to the modified versions of this car, so cars with suspension mods, power mods, but this is completely stock. Also on the inside we have, of course, the EDC by Renault, so the pedal shift box on this car. A bit of a notorious one, especially if you modify them. I'm gonna take it out on the track in this ring review, and I'm gonna tell you all about this car, how it handles, how it reacts, and what it's gonna do, and maybe why you should rent this car as your first time at the Nurburgring. So guys, we're gonna go onto the ring in the Clio right now. Just did a quick, as I call it, a warm-up lap on the car, get everything up to temperature, get a bit of a feel for it. So with this car, normally you have them spec'd with an RS monitor. This one doesn't have that, so we can't really see what is going on. But we have this RS drive button down here. As you can see, the little Renault Sport emblem comes on. You can turn ESC all the way off, or you can go into Sport. We are gonna go into Sport, so that's just a single click basically. So go. We're gonna the gear lever onto the no, actually towards you, so that it's in manual mode, and then we're gonna go out there. So the 1.8 liter engine here with the EDC. It's not gonna make a lot of noise, but it's gonna go. So also again, this car really is a bit of a step-in car if you want to have your first experience at the Nürburgring Nordschleife. These cars are also very well balanced. I would say the rear end on this car, but you will see in a minute, moves around just a bit. You get that nice rotation when you lift off the throttle of the car, the back end stepping out on you, and it rotates you into the corner. What I really do not like is the position of the pedal shifters on these cars, because sometimes what happens, you exit a corner and you can't reach the pedal, which is really shitty. The tires screaming. It is also, again, for stock suspension for the ring, feels very solid again. So we're gonna be a little quiet here. It is relatively bumpy, the car. If if you compare it to some other setups and cars. It is, when you go onto those curves, it bounces back on you, which is, I'd say, I won't recommend you using the curbs too much with this car. Little tap on the brake, throttle. I would say this car is for the Pilot Sport 4s. Again, like I said, if it's your first outing with a car at the ring, perfectly fine. If you are more advanced, the car is a little too heavy for pushing these 4S's, so that is a bit of a downside. And again, in the fast corners, this also feels really planted, and the brakes are, I'm not sure what RSR uses, but really nice. This is one of those examples where I'm going to use the lever to shift up, because the pedal is up here. It's not really convenient for exiting corners and then trying to shift up. It really doesn't like, or well, it's not really reachable. Through the foxhole, big compression, here a little rubbing, over the curbstone. Again, this car copes really well with the abuse. A little bit of understeer through the car. The traction control actually on these Renault Sports is very intelligent. So they've nailed that in a way where they just give you the right amount of traction and slip. It's a really nice balance. On some cars it can be, when you leave it in sport mode, it intervenes too much. In my opinion, Renault did really well with their dynamic traction in that sense. It's really intelligent. It really feels where the grip is, where most cars, I would say, in these categories really lack that. Here I'm flat out and it accelerates in a really nice way, not too much slip. Also, these cars have an electronically controlled diff. It's not really a real, like, full-on mechanical LSD like you would get in the i20N, for example, or the i30 and Hyundai's. No, this is more like an open diff, which is then, yeah, I would say electronically controlled and gives you that LSD, that limited slip feeling. Here again, having to use the lever because, yeah, you're in a corner like that, you can't reach over to the pedal. Slower car. Always very important when you see cars, be aware of their speed, because there could be, as you just saw right there, is quite a big speed difference between the two cars. So always, if there's a car coming up to you really quick, don't try to send it past them. Be aware of them so that they're also aware of you, of course. Uphill it misses a bit, could use a bit more oomph this car, but in general it's not bad. Like I said, again, a really good car if you want to go out there for the first time. And it's also very playful in that sense. Like, again, a very confidence inspiring car in my opinion. It's not tricky at all. It's really stable on the high speeds, which I know on previous generation Clios that was a thing where they got a bit unsettled at high speeds, but this one really nice. We have a high speed corner coming up. We're going to tap the brakes a little here and then floor it again. Feels really nice, no understeer through the car. I like it. This is also one of those cars which is definitely gonna excel at the carousel. I can tell you already, because we can carry so much speed through there. So E92, which is slower. Is he gonna get out of the way? Doesn't look like it. No, he's gonna ruin the carousel for us. That's a bit unfortunate. Oh, this is actually, oh, there's also a rental, as you can see. So I have a really fast car coming up to the right. A beautiful V8 noise, as you can hear. bit now. The tires are letting go just a little bit of understeer through the car. And again, upshift with the lever. Oh, and again, we have yellow here, so we're gonna take it easy. Yeah, this car, it's very neutral again. A very neutral car, I would say, if you compare this to yeah, what is its real competitor right now, like a Fiesta ST or the i20N. I think the i20N is a bit more playful, but then still very confidence inspiring. This is also very confidence inspiring. Overall, again, I like it. Again, I like it. When you really start to push the front end, it really starts to, you know, understeer a little. Let's see how it goes through the jump. All four wheels, probably. There we go. Whoa. Yeah, those are the kind of things what it does really well. This is always tricky. Keep your foot here in it, because on that downhill rotation, if the car rotates on you, it becomes hairy. Thank you. You can see in the small corrections that I'm doing under braking that the rear end does indeed tend to move. But again, with all due respect, this is basically a stock car. Wow. You can feel that back end coming up on you. That's really cool. That's the fun thing about these front wheel drives. You can really send them hard through some corners where others with their rear wheel drive have to, you know, have to settle for a bit less. But this thing, it likes to go. Yeah, that was, again, that was really nice. That was really nice. I have to say, this car is it's a good starting point. I see why people also would turn these into track tools, because the chassis is really capable. I think the gearbox is a bit of a question mark. It's a bit on the slow side for my liking, but hey, each to their own, and each to their own budget also, because remember, this is not a 30, 40 or 50k car. No, it's way less than that. I think these on the used market nowadays sell between 15 and 20, well, 20 and 25, I think, good examples. So a really good base if you want to start a track tool. Guys, thank you for watching, and see you at the next ring review. Bye bye.